Oh, goody.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Mercenaries video. So for this one, this is a small tournament we did last weekend over on my stream. If you don't know, I do stream fairly regularly on Twitch now. You can check the link for that in the description if you're interested. But basically, this event, Dallas actually got given a code to kind of give away. And one of the ways he wanted to do it was he wanted to do a small kind of community-run tournament. And the idea was actually pretty interesting. Basically, he had a Reddit thread where a bunch of people left comments on different interesting comps. And we did have some rules. So I believe it was Localar, Valera, and Sinestra were all banned from submission. So you did have to come up with a comp without those particular mercenaries to add a little bit of diversity. But basically, a bunch of people submitted comps over there. Then we ended up gathering up 4 great Mercenaries players to come play on stream. Everyone got to pick a comp from the list. And basically, whoever's comp was picked and ended up winning the event, the person who made that comp was actually given the giveaway code for the 60-pack pre-order for the new expansion. So this was kind of a fun way to just do something a little bit different for a giveaway, and it was a lot of fun to play in from the players. It was a lot of fun for me to watch and commentate over. Just a little bit of information about the format. Basically, it is a best of 3 single elimination. So we have 4 contestants. So whoever gets, that best 2 out of 3 score in the first match, they move on to the finals. And the second bracket, same thing, move on to the finals where it is also a best of 3. Pretty interesting stuff. There were actually some really, really fun games, and I liked a lot of the comps that were submitted. We had some pretty interesting, creative stuff. So a lot of fun. I think you're going to enjoy the games. We're going to get right on into it here, though. Before we do, if you enjoy the content, do remember to like and subscribe. It's a ton to help out the channel, and it keeps the Mercs videos coming. Without further ado, let's dive right on into these tournament games. All right. So Wizardbeast is rocking the Holy comp with the dragons. I think this is probably the most unique comp out of the ones I saw submitted. But Wizardbeast is a big fan of Chi-Ji, so pretty understandable that he'd go with something like this. And then Issies is the other comp that kind of atypical here. Vandar. And I know Issies is a fan of Vandar, having faced him testing some stuff on ladder with it. But this is actually pretty interesting. Eudora is probably going to give them quite a bit of trouble here. But it's not the biggest damage-dealing green.
Job's done.
So it looks like he's just going to go for scaling up with the Chi-Ji. A little bit of healing. Unfortunate positioning here, though. I guess you can't really win because you're either ending up with Anduin or Chi-Ji on the far side for Eudora, but bold move leading the triple blues. It does make it so Kazakus is probably afraid to send in the golems because he doesn't want to scale that Anduin healing or Anduin health. Getting down the Vandar can be dangerous too, unless they kill it before. Oh, look at that. It forces the golem to swing in. That is a cool interaction. I have not ever seen that before. And Chi-Ji gets pretty beat up on. Wizardbeast does have the combo available, though. So that's going to be a pretty big AoE. And the only thing that can swing first would be Eudora here, and Eudora on her own is not enough. Can't even summon a golem with the Kazakus right now. The board is too full. So this might actually be pretty good for Wizardbeast here. the Chi-Ji positioning is actually really coming in clutch because Eudora can't snipe it down and have the cannon finish it off. Looks like he's going for it on the Kazakus. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Scale up the healing so Anduin gets even more healing because you really need to get your Chi-Ji up. It is pretty low. But this might have flipped pretty hard in Wizardbeast's favor because just how slow the other comp is. Oh, and even that isn't enough to kill the Anduin. It lives just barely, but... Oh, and he transforms the Kazakus, but the Golem's already gone. I guess it makes sense, though. You don't really want to get the random damage off, and you can't summon a Golem, so what else are you going to do? Sylvanas comes in, though. And Sylvanas has got to be, like, a nightmare thing to see here, right? Like, Sylvanas doesn't care about your scaling. We've seen a million summons already die this game, so it's going to get real big real fast. And Wizardbeast knows that, so it looks like he's trying to get as much damage on it as possible. He does have the dragons here on the bench that could potentially work on picking it off, but Issies does have 2 more units remaining on the bench. We do know those are Rogers and Nuzao. Another Golem, so this is going to scale the Sylve a bunch. It is weakened, though. But yeah, 45, that's a lot. And it can attack at 4 speed, so it can just delete Chi-Ji here. It could basically maim the Anduin, so Eudora can finish it off. So I think the really challenging thing here for Wizardbeast is going to be if he can manage kind of the switch-ins, you know, if one thing dies here or 2 things die here, how does he handle that in terms of bringing in some of the dragons or Voon from the bench? It is cool to see Chi-Ji again, though. It has been a little bit of time since we've seen too much Chi-Ji after the bug fix basically nerfed it, essentially. So it looks like he acknowledges, like he's like, alright, I have to go for the 4/4s here. Trying to beat that Sylvanas in the tie. Oh, and he gets it. That's huge. But it's just so much damage on that Anduin. Oh, and the double fire too. That's actually pretty crazy because now Issies could get out like Rogers here. Oh, and now it's in range where Kazakus could snipe it and kill it, but that's probably like the greediest play in the world. It's too slow. You can't risk it healing. But man, wouldn't that be cool if he decided to just go for getting the Kazakus Golem from Kazakuzan. Redeploying the Eudora, buying another cannon. These cannons have been really good this game, it seems. Now he's considering probably trying to heal, but it's going to be too slow. So he's going to try and deal damage. Yeah, I think you just got to blast it. I think that's right. And then possibly Voon's summon can take out a cannon, which would be pretty good. It could take out the Kazakus. It's favored to hit something good. 3 versus 2. And these are best 2 out of 3. So there will be more than one chance to win with each of these comps. Eudora does snipe it down. Rogers just absolutely destroys that Alex. And Kazakus deals a lot of damage. Does have the Wind Fury equipment, so nails Kazakus, nails a cannon, but the cannon gets some revenge on Alex. And Deathwing isn't looking that good here. Especially against Nuzao. Nuzao's going to shut down like the only thing Deathwing would want to do here, which is probably like try and nuke the board. Oh, but we even see Wizardbeast doesn't have his ability all the way up. He does have the main attack up, though. And that is a risk of picking, you know, a team with some of these new mercs. Really wants to get rid of that Rogers, but it looks like he's reconsidering for the cannon. Which I don't mind. Because it's not going to get in 2 hits if you focus the Rogers anyway. It's not like you can play around the taunt. Interesting to see Wizardbeast go for the taunt here on Deathwing, though. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess he's trying to say maybe the summons can help get him there. But I really thought he would attack or board wipe with the Deathwing. Interesting. Oh, that Divine Shield is so huge. Wow, the double hits on the cannon, though. Interesting. I mean, now it's actually not looking terrible for Wizardbeast. I mean, it's kind of close here. The elementals could even end up mattering in terms of them not being fully sized up. Because these are only level 2 elementals. Yeah, it even says Elementum Terror 2. That's kind of a neat touch. So maybe it was correct to go for the taunts. Maybe he identified, hey, I need these summons to win, but even Nuzao can kill the summons. So I think it might still be in Issies' favor, especially because Issies can block a bunch of their damage now with Nuzao. Oh, yeah, okay. Yep. Oh, and he snipes. Wow, what a play. That's actually pretty big, right? That's pretty heads up. And look at that, the damage prevention just stops it entirely.
Job's done.
Wow. Oh, look at that. It's because Bullish Belt has the Bullish Belt on it, so even more damage prevention, but even more cooldown. Wow. That's crazy. That totally just saved his Rogers, pretty much. And I think Issies is going to have it from here, but man, that was closer than I thought it would be. Yeah, Rogers just deals too much, and the Nuzao comes in for that headbutt finish. Issies is up 1-0. These are best 2 out of 3 games, though, so they are going to run it back. And Issies is going to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just run it right back. And I like it. I mean, this has been a pretty cool comp so far. It's a really interesting interaction with Kazakus and the Taunt Golem, and Vandar being able to just force it to smack in right away. I've never seen anyone do that before. We will see if Wizardbeast ends up swapping it up here, though. Or if he decides, you know what, maybe the opener was fine, just got to run it a little differently. Alright, looks like he is just going to run it back, it seems. No, he is going to swap it up a little bit. So instead of going all in on the Holy, still putting Chi-Ji in the middle as the priority. However, now he has Deathwing to taunt, which will definitely help keep his stuff safe, as Issies comp is rather slow in terms of speed. But I mean, I liked his strategy a lot last game. Just getting all those summons down real fast and building that Sylvanas up. I mean, and Sylvanas, if there's a more anti-Anduin unit other than like Sinestra, I can't think of it. Like, just shuts down everything he's trying to do. Boom. Does spawn some more elementums. Oh, and those cannon shots hurt. That is a fun interaction with the Eudora cannons, where depending on the positioning of the board, you can get, you know, those double cannon hits in, or a cannon hit on multiple units. We do notice the board is full now, though. So no more cannon summoning, no more golem summoning this turn. But I think Issies is fine with it. I mean, I do think Wizardbeast was right to try and swap it up here, but it feels like his comp is just really unfavored versus what Issies build is trying to do. Oh wow, that's actually pretty big. The Deathwing dies exactly. I guess it would have died to the cannon anyway. But still, it's definitely looking like Issies is in a pretty good position again. He's thinking about bringing a news out here. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So now we've got Alex and Voon coming out. Again, not really actually, no, he still doesn't have enough. It's funny, when the cannons get that buff, you can actually swing with them, which is pretty cool, but not going to be relevant here. And he is thinking about it. Does he want to redeploy the Eudora, but that does also risk her getting killed by Alex, or even a combination of Chi-Ji and Voon. I imagine Wizardbeast is going to be going for another Voon summon, but you never know. The News Out Taunting, though, is going to be doing pretty decent stuff here, right? The damage reduction goes a long way. Oh, and look at that, the snipe on Eudora with the Alex due to its equipment. That's pretty sweet. Kazakus is going to send his little golems in, prepping for that Sylvanas. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Especially that Chi-Ji's looking a little scarier. But Nuzao hanging on by a thread here at 2 HP. And the golems didn't die? Did they not? Oh, the damage reduction. I was like, those golems swung, right? Yeah, they did, but the damage production kept them alive. I wonder if that was an intended interaction, or if that kind of took one or both players by surprise here. Yeah, it is almost anti-synergy. That's really funny. Wow, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a little rough. Kazakus is still going to deal a lot, though, when they die this turn. And they will die this turn. I don't see any way of them living before he attacks. Because Wizardbeast does not have any kind of slow. They could take out multiple of them with the Voon, but even then, you're probably just better off sniping the Ox and one of the Golems if you want to go for Voon skill 1. All right. Sunday. Oh, and it lasts 2 turns, right? So these little golems, they're just sticking around, and now they're divine shielded, and wow. And Chi-Ji heals. Alex takes some more damage. What a weird game right now. Now that they're protected, I mean, you can almost even go for eating them as Kazakus, because your board's too full to summon one. Look at that. He only is able to switch in 1 unit because of the amount of board space that is full by these little golems. I've never seen one of these survive before, so seeing them as 6/1s with Divine Shield is really funny. And Sylvanas is probably going to give Wizardbeast team a tough time, but Wizardbeast does have a bit of sustain here with the Alex healing and the Chi-Ji. We'll see. Can we see? Yeah, he has plus 10 heal power. That's not insignificant, because... But Roger's coming out here is going to just get rid of the Alex, and if Alex dies, I don't think Wizardbeast has a realistic way of dealing with Sylvanas from Issies' bench. I do wonder if this was all kind of going according to plan here. Boom. Alex down to 12. Looks like... Oh, the golems. The little golems that could. And where's this going to hit? Boom. And look at that. The golems even proving their usefulness even further. Absorbing one of those 25 damage hits. And now I don't see a way where Wizardbeast can kind of claw himself out of this. I mean, maybe you have some healing with Velen here that's amped up with Chi-Ji, but I just don't think that's gonna... It's too slow. He can just kill off his own golems, and then Sylvanas will just wreck him. Really interesting games, though. Very cool decks from both players. We do need more board space. I'm an advocate for at least 7 slots on the board. We know the game can handle it. They just need to enable it like regular Hearthstone. Like, I get it. You don't need infinite board space, but like 7 has been a precedent. It should really continue to be 7 now that we have things that can spawn multiple summons in a single turn. Because Kazakus on his own fills your board if these little golems survive. Gets the AoE off. Oh, wow. Wow. This might be a draw? Potentially? That was a lot of healing. And now, I mean, yeah, Sylvanas is here, but... And Sylvanas is going to probably zap the Chi-Ji, but... I think he might just be able to get there? Maybe not, though, because... Can kill Chi-Ji this turn, and then can zap Voon and the cannon shot from the end of this turn, and zapping it next turn can kill it before it can act, and then I don't think Velen has the damage. And even if Velen does kill it, it'll die to the Death Rattle. So this game's actually just got a lot closer than it looked last turn. Yeah, you do run out of space, but you do make a very big Sylvanas. So he goes to zap the cannon instead of the Sylvanas. Oh, but wow, no, that's just enough. And Wizardbeast just barely squeaks by, it living at 7 health. Oh my god, what a comeback. It is now 1-1. And these players are going to have to run it back, and this is going to determine who moves on to our finals. What a game. Did anyone expect that? I wasn't expecting that. The little golems really ended up having a bit of a negative, more of a negative effect, because he couldn't juice up that Kazakus claw damage, and he couldn't spawn a golem because his board space was full. So that is one of the risks. A little bit of anti-synergy there. So he's sure about the Chi-Ji opener. Looks like he's gonna think about, does he want to run it back like he did last time? Does he want to maybe change it up and leave Holy on the bench entirely? Because he did win that last game, but it was so close, and it's definitely possible Issies might not have expected the interaction of those golems sticking around longer than expected. Because I think if he had a little bit of board space there, he would have been able to close out that game. All right. Looks like he's going with Anduin. Now the question is, does he want to go with Velen as well, or does he want to run it back like last time with Deathwing? I think he's going to go Deathwing. But he could be anticipating Issies wanting to switch it up too. But it looks like he's really hard considering that Velen. But no, looks like he's going to, go right with the Deathwing. I like this. Put it on the other player to have to do something different. Really great games here, though, from both players. And so Wizardbeast does have his strategy down here, though, and I do like it. Just get that Vandar down, because Vandar can be very, very scary if you let it stick around for more than 2 turns, as Avatar makes him, a huge force to be reckoned with once he's lost a decent amount of HP. I do love this interaction, though, of forcing the Golem to swing in, because that's a lot of damage. I mean, non-super effective, non-critical damage there already takes Deathwing down to 28. And Deathwing's one of the higher HP units in the whole game. I mean, even not maxed, 85 HP, that is a ton. So it looks like Wizardbeast going to be going for Holy Nova here. I think that definitely makes sense. Just deciding what to do with the Chi-Ji, and should send off these elementals. As he goes for taunt, he's probably going to get more of them. Yeah, Kazaka's bounce would be pretty cool. So you can reapply the buff. That'd be sick too. Wait, you can do it. You could do it with Eudora. You could bounce Kazakus with Eudora and redeploy him. That's kind of a fun interaction. But it'd be cool if we got more stuff like that. So Wizardbeast does go for the taunt. Blocks. Oh, wow, yeah. And that Chi-Chi just does a ton of damage. Shadow Claw's coming in. Chi-Chi taking some damage. Kazaka's getting hit by the bleed. But again, a little bit smaller bleed. And out comes the Sylvanas. Definitely like this. Just go in with it, get it as big as possible, and start zapping stuff off. Because I think Issies has probably learned from last game, Chi-Ji's what's got to go. The Anduin doesn't threaten, I think, as much as the Chi does. Like, it's just the fact that you're also scaling up your AoE, but he has so many healing units, right? Like, Velen, Alex, Anduin, Chi-Ji. Like, most of his team is healing. And this is kind of a turnaround on the healing comp actually doing pretty well compared to the other week when we did the draft, whereas healing just didn't really do as much as we were expecting it to in that kind of environment. But here, it's surprisingly, I mean, I'm still surprised it got there last game, but it did. So Wizardbeast is just going to focus all the damage on the Sylvanas. And oh, look at that. He is going to, did he just redeploy the Kazakus? Did we call that play before it happened?
Job's done. I'm looking for a few good.
Oh my god, look at that. We literally called it. Wow. We literally just had that called in the chat. Kazaka's bouncing. Oh yeah, we could do this. And then boom, he does it. And he's looking in a pretty commanding position because of it. No, Wizardbeast only has it, I think, at level 2 or level 3. Yeah, Elemental Armor 2. So his elementals are smaller. Yeah, we have some great comps, Dallas. Here, if you want to take a look, I have a command. And we can see who also made each comp. So Issies was made by RBB, and Wizardbeasts was made by R Rights. But it's been fun so far. It's currently 1-1. So this is the deciding match between Issies and Wizardbeast. Goes for the taunt again, I guess. No reason not to. And the Sylvanas and the Kazakas are just... Oh, look at that. He summons a cannon, doesn't even get it. But will he even need it? I don't think so. So he can snipe it down with Alex. That is a big advantage of this equipment. And then it looks like, I mean, Anduin's still pretty healthy too, because he did have to focus the Chi-Ji. Yeah, taking a whole turn off to bounce definitely is risky. I do think it is paying off for him a bit here, though. So look at those golems. 20, 20, and 24, 13. So this is interesting. Sylvanas gets sniped. Oh, but the Anduin was in range. So a bit of unfortunate positioning there. If Wizardbeast actually positioned that differently, the Anduin might have stuck around. Not sure if that would have been enough to get him there, though. I do think Issies had the favored build for this. He just got caught off guard a little bit by those weird elemental interactions the other game. Whereas now he knows how it's working, and I think he is almost definitely going to win this from here. The golems are just too big. Rogers is going to delete the Alex, and then just Prophet Velen doesn't do enough on his own. But really good games from both of our players here. Alright, let's see what happens. Taunt and damage prevention, that's huge. Just totally negates the Voon. Alex blasts off, but for not very much damage. Gets absolutely deleted. Eudora decides to redeploy. Oh, that's actually kind of heads up for a little bit better cannon positioning. Look at that. Gets Velen down to 1. And that is going to close out the game. GG's. Great games from both our players here. And the Issies will advance on to our finals. Alright, so we're in the game here. Zampage does have probably the closest to something traditional with a Frost open nature backline. But, I mean... makes sense to pick something strong, right? It's one of your options. And we know Frost, even without local art, still just does crazy things. Yeah, it is pretty crazy how much I was able to cut it down. Alright, so... this is interesting. The Yu'lon does have the additional nature damage scaling. Looking at the comps here, Image's bench is, let's see, Cookie, Longjin, and Malfurion. So it looks like he's probably going to... well, it's interesting. Yu'lon doesn't do like a whole lot here. I mean, it can damage the Belinda pretty badly. Very interesting not going with the mouth lead, but I guess you got to be a little scared of the double blue open here. Because we do know how Frost gets out of control very quickly. And worth noting, Image's comp actually only has 1 green, which is, I think, going to make killing this Jaina rather rough. Actually goes for the Varden first. Was not expecting that. And you gotta imagine he's gonna be trying for a snap here. Though Image does have ways of playing around it with healing. So it's not as easy as always to math out the snap. Looks like Zampage does want to go for it though, but he might kind of get got here between the Yu'lon scaling with the health and both Chi-Ji and Anaconda having abilities that can heal up. I've learned one thing from the bit of time where Chi-Ji was seeing a lot of play is never underestimate the insane amount of healing that that can get. Should Image target his own Yu'lon? He could even get away with going for like an AoE heal with the Chi-Ji. Just heal everything. And then Yu'lon could just give health with his skill 1 to help get out of the range too. But that might be too slow. Oh, it is 6 speed though, you're right. Yeah, so it would be a flip there. Probably wouldn't want to risk that. But I don't think he has too much in the way of options. Yeah, alright, so he doesn't risk. He does just go for the damage. We do see the snap from Zampage. Doesn't actually stop things, but still, I mean, just the damage was pretty decent, and Zampage is looking pretty healthy here on board. The water elemental is down, though. And now, Malf is definitely scary, but this is after Jaina is scaled up a bit, and again, Image is kind of lacking in a very powerful green to deal with this Jaina. Because, what's it? Jaina's already at +6 frost damage and another 3 from Belinda. It's like, ooh. I know, the poor chicken. Even as the cool Chi-Ji skin. Love that one. But they do have, what, +10 heal power, so they will be healing quite a bit off of this Malfurion, and the benefit, you know, they're not that fast with Frost Comp right now. We don't have local art to punish things going fast, which is a big difference. And we don't have Valera to speed them up. I could see this summon becoming a liability, though, to be honest, for a potential snap next turn. $25 healing, though. 15. Oh, wow, though. That's... Doesn't kill the Mouth. And Mouth... Wow, Mouth goes for the damage. And swinging in. Ooh, I don't know. Now they're kind of in Snap City. And now, because they didn't speed up with the Mouth, it can just be, like... Just carnage with the Snap here. Heal on Beast to make Big Snake. Yeah, I mean, they could go for it. But even then, it's like, they're still gonna die to the Mouth. Or the Mouth is gonna die and everything's gonna freeze, rather. Because they just have so much scaling, right? Like, they have +12 frost damage. So that's a snap for 20, which will crit to 40. But if he does go for Mouth, that would be 2 6s if they heal the snake. And Chi-Ji does have plus 10, so that'd be plus 32. So that would get him out of snap range. So there actually could be a pretty big flip here. Image could stack the flip by going for healing on Chi-Ji as well, because that would be a 6 in addition to that. Oh, and Jaina wins the flip there. Snap happens anyway on the summon, and that's just painful. That hurts a lot. Image does send out Long Jin here, having plus 6 arcane damage. That is going to be a little awkward for the Varden, but I think they just have so much scaling that it's not going to matter. He has a fresh nature bench just chilling, ready. Yeah, look at that. 30, boom. Chi-Ji does get some healing off. The Death Rattle is going to freeze the Anaconda. Yeah, very, very big sad there. Plus 6 Arcane versus plus 21 Frost. Yeah, what's it up to? 15. Yeah, 21. Wow. Disgusting. Jaina did get popped, but Varden is gone, but the nature bench is, I think, just going to be hard to deal with here. And the freeze certainly doesn't help.
Job's done.
Damages Belinda. Belinda just nukes Chi-Ji from orbit. We do see a summon. 28 on the Jaina. Where's it going to roll? Rolls to the water elemental. That's actually kind of unfortunate. Will it be enough to make a difference? We'll see, but I don't think so. Because now Belinda's still... I mean, she has much less frost damage, but still 18. It's still quite a bit.
Job's done.
No, it doesn't bounce back over like Brukan's lightning. It goes in one direction. So it picks that direction, it goes down the line as long as it's killing something, but it does not bounce back. So different interaction there than the chain lightning. Restores 15 health. Oh, and it just barely lives, but Brukan's just going to clean this up here. We do have the Pogfish coming out, though, to shine a little bit of brightness on this game. GG. Zampage will advance 1-0. Alright, we're back in it. So, Yulon, Cookie, Chi-Ji versus the Frost. Interesting. Yeah, we are getting some stream lag here. Alright, we're gonna see what they do here. Goes for the elemental. Yeah, focusing the Yulon makes a lot of sense.
Job's done.
So, looks like going for the snap here. Just makes a lot of sense. It just feels like a very uphill battle for Image, not having a powerful green to contest the double blue start, because Jaina just gets so out of control with all that scaling and synergy. So basically just going for the same line as last time here, just getting the frost scaling and the snap, and then Belinda AoE. Now from Image's side, so he goes for the taunt and the nature scaling. Again, goes for snap, doesn't get the snap, but it deals so much damage that it's not even really a downside.
Job's done.
And in comes Anaconda. So having her off the bench this time might make it a little bit better. Hard to say though.
Job's done.
Because you really want her out with Mouth and maybe like the Chi-Ji healing scaling. Alright, so they go for the heal. Oh, it's just so much damage. Oh, the Pogfish comes out. Oh, and that's actually a big heal from the Pogfish. Pretty large heal. Now they are susceptible to getting cookie sniped and scaling the HP even further. So it is looking like a better position for Image than it did last game. Restoring 20 health, yeah, that's pretty good. Summoning the snake.
The elements unbound flow through me.
It probably would be better for him if he did have the damage equipment, but we do have to operate with equipment as specified.
Job's done.
So, I mean, this all makes a lot of sense. You just got to get rid of the Chi-Ji. Looks like he's... Yeah, he's still going to go for Chain Lightning here. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh, and it is enough to kill Chi-Ji. That is rough. That's a low roll, too, because that could have hit the cookie. Probably wouldn't have made a difference, though. So he does have Malfurion on the bench, as well as Brukan. But neither of those feel that great to switch in here. Does decide to go with Malfurion. But Zampage just does so much damage with all that frost scaling. So we will see. I do think Zampage is going to end up taking this. Does get the fish feast, though. And that is enough to kill Malfurion. Very, very rough. Yeah, I haven't seen those problems myself, El Bandito. What's up, Master Puppet? Yeah, this comp seems pretty good, huh? Frost, good, even without local R? Impossible. I do think Izzy's comp will have a better matchup, though. Oh. Jaina does get popped. Yeah, I haven't had that issue, Bandito. Are you on mobile, though? I think I've heard of that happening to someone before on mobile. So Jaina, let's see. Jaina's going for the Longjin. Longjin does have that reflection, and it is going to be Starfire Vortexing for 26 damage a pop. But it's a 2v5, and doesn't seem very likely that Image is going to claw his way out of this. The Image redemption ship is sinking right before us. Zap, another zap, and another zap. Oh wow, and the overkill, but it does get a freeze, and now the full Nature Boy's gonna come in, and it's probably gonna seal the deal here. Image did get a bit further into it this time, but that is going to be game. And Zampage will move on to the finals. Yeah, that's a tough one, Image. That's a tough one to play against. That's a hard matchup. There we go. All right, yeah. I didn't see them say anything in chat. Luckily, we didn't miss anything. So we're gonna be watching. Or no. Oh yeah, he led Sylvanas. Wow. Interesting. I guess he's afraid of getting snapped, which makes a lot of sense. You can also snipe down the elemental here. Though the cannon could still be a bit of a liability, potentially. Boom, into Sylvanas. Makes sense. Interesting. Oh, the Vandar can't be frozen, huh? +6 attack cannot be frozen. So the Vandar just eats the elemental. That's pretty sick. So he's got the cannon here. He is just barely off of sniping this Jaina down with the cannon. 20 damage and then 15. It's just one off. Let's see. $15 to Sylv. Sylv dying will actually pop the Jaina. Interesting. Roger's coming in. And in comes Cookie for the snipe. So is trying to go for the Avatar, which does make a lot of sense. Oh, but that's actually sick. So there's going to be a flip here, which could totally change the game. Like he could speed up the Avatar, but it is going to be a flip with that Cookie at 2 speed. And you gotta imagine that could have a pretty big influence on the game here. Because he could just delete that Cookie entirely. Looks like he is gonna go for it. Oh, and he gets the flip. Goodbye, Cookie. Oh, but Cookie lives at 2. Oh my god. Cookie lives at 2 HP.
I'm looking for a few mercenaries.
Oh, but Kazakus does get the buff out here. But that ice elemental is going to be, or the water elemental is going to be kind of annoying. Looks like he is going for golems. Maybe not, though. I think you got to swing it with the Rogers, unless, I mean, maybe they go for the third ability, but that seems kind of risky. Again, 16 health being a really awkward number here, because it's 1 off of dying from this cannon. So he's going to move the cannon and then probably recall the Eudora, it looks like. Get another cannon. I guess he could kill the Jaina by throwing in the golems into the water elemental. Oh, but he doesn't have enough space. Yeah, he doesn't have enough space. Oh, but he could swing in with the cannon. Oh no, the elemental swings in, but that is a flip. But even if it swung in, it wouldn't have, the same thing would have basically happened. He just missed out on some attack on the Rogers. I'm surprised to see him going for a cannon summon here. Seems kind of risky. Figured you'd go for killing the Jaina and then you could kill the Cookie too, but I think you gotta summon some golems. Yeah, I think that's greedy. Looks like he might be reconsidering it with Eudora. Look at that. Yep. Looks like he agrees with Dallas here. Decides it is too greedy to go for the cannon. Yeah, I like this line a lot better. I think this is how you put yourself in a position to win. The Varden Death Rattle is going to hurt a lot, though. Sends in the random golems. A little surprised about that. Yeah, I feel like it would have been better to summon... Oh, and the Eudora dies exactly. Oof. Alright, well, he can prevent a lot of damage with this new Zao, but between the Varden potentially freezing stuff and the Malf healing, it's going to be kind of hard. However, Eudora can pretty much delete this over 2 turns, or he has had a lot of golems die too. But he is thinking about going for firing position here, which is fairly reasonable, but it does end up being a flip with the Brucon. But I think you can beat the Brucon if Malf is dead, and then you can set up a kill on Varden at the end. So Issies isn't totally out of this game yet. I think News Out 3 is better. Yeah, the only thing is he does have the equipment for 10 less damage. So that's gonna, like, Malf does literally nothing. And Brucon's Chain Lightning is a lot weaker. This does last over 2 turns, so he does go for the slow. But look at that, 10 damage, nothing. And he goes for the root. Let's see, did Issies play around it? I think he did. Oh, and he does, and what a play. Freezes the news out, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. I think Issies is gonna get there. Worth noting, these are still protected from the damage by 10 for this turn. So even though Nuzao is frozen, it's not a big deal. Looks like Issies is considering the flip here, though. If Malf does go for skill 1, he could snipe it with Rogers. And then worst case, Kazakis will probably clean it up. Because Malf, you got to remember, Malf is doing no damage with that 4 speed ability. What a game. What a game. The unconventional comp here. I mean, the lead Sylvanas, who saw that coming? But Issies knew from, watching that prior game, you got to have a powerful green out there, otherwise Frost is just going to run you over. Oh, and he does win the flip. That's pretty big. And Kazakis is going to get a bunch of damage off here. And now Zampage is just going to go down to this Kazakis and Nuzao. What a game. Who saw this coming? Boom. Rogers smacks in. Says, get out of here, Frost. Get out of here, Nature. And Issies will be up 1-0 for the start of the finals here. And this is game match for Issies. If Zampage can beat him in this one, it will be 1-1, and we will have a deciding third game. But Issies could take it home. Looks like he did opt to switch it up this time. No lead Sylvanas. No Kazakis, though. He's actually leading with the Rogers, which... kind of a bold strategy, but I like it. The only thing is this Rogers does get pretty blocked by this Elemental. You could use the cannon to pick it off, though, at the end of turn. But I think he'd rather the damage on the Jaina. Yeah, he's thinking about this one. Summoning another cannon. It's an interesting idea, but I don't know if it's... Not sure if I'm in love with it. Yeah, freeze on the Rogers, definitely smart. I guess he wants to summon the cannon for positioning to kill this elemental, so that makes a bit more sense. Oh, but Vandar ends up killing it. But now Vandar is in snap range, and it's not looking that great. I think he might have had to stick with that Sylvanas lead. It worked really well for him last time. But now he does have the opportunity to get a big Sylvanas once these cannons die. So he is thinking about this, but yeah, I think, oh, he could try and heal it out of snap range, but I don't think that's enough, right? Yeah, because it's 11, so 22, so that's still exactly a snap. He could get damage off, though. Looks like he does go for the backup plan, but he does get the Belinda snipe down there. Eudora does get the attack off, which is actually kind of big. Does put Jaina down to 6 HP, does not pop the block, though, despite getting very close. And now we are not suffering from a slowdown from the Varden anymore. Considering Sylvanas here. You gotta imagine Zampage is probably gonna send in Cookie, I'd think, to get that free snipe.
Let none survive.
Yeah, there comes the Cookie. So, not much you can do about the snipe, but I think that's okay. Because it's not the most HP in the world. Yeah, I do think you definitely have to ramp that Sylvanas. So considering what to do with this cannon, but the cannon's probably just going to die. I do like getting the damage off on the Rogers here. Just get as much damage around as you can. This will probably end up dying. Yeah, it is a flip. Oh, the freeze on the Sylvanas is pretty big. Oh, but it's not a flip because they didn't go for skill 6 with Jaina. So it does pop the Jaina. Jaina does get an elemental out, which is... Oh, that's concerning for sure. But they can use Eudora here to kill the elemental, so Sylvanas cannot be frozen this turn. This Jaina is getting a little out of control, though, with 6 frost damage. bounce the Eudora, and fire the cannons. Oh, he's trying to set up a cannon kill. So kill the Jaina before she acts, I think. Well, now I guess it doesn't work if they do it that way. Like, you do have to do it the way he was originally planning. Bounce the Eudora. He's thinking about it, though. It's running out of time. Wait. I am thoroughly confused. Maybe he thought it was going to deal crit damage? I'm a little confused by that. I'm a little bit confused by that. And he does have Kazakus and Nuzao on the bench. Sylvanas can kill this.
Job's done.
Still could be anyone's game here, to be honest. Jaina's going down this turn. Varden gets a lot less scary without the Jaina. I do think Kazakus is going to have a harder time killing Malfurion than Rogers would have. Looks like they may actually go for the redeploy on Rogers to try and save her. But that'd be too slow if Varden slows. So I think I prefer redeploying the Eudora, which looks like they're going to do. So does suicide in the Rogers. Now he does have a bit more agency to his swapping here. He has to choose 2 new mercs to throw in. Might as well toss the Eudora down. It is out of cookie range now, and the snap did just go off. And now I guess he can freeze the Sylvanas. It's the unfortunate thing. Oh, the elemental could freeze Jaina. I didn't even think about that. So looks like Issies is going to go for the protection with taunt and damage reduction. I think that makes sense. No Brucon out, so it's going to just nullify all this damage, essentially. Like, look at that. Oh, and this wasn't a freeze turn. This was a snap turn, so that's actually pretty big. They can now snipe down the cookie, and Issies might be in a commanding position to take it from here. The damage reduction and now the divine shield too. Varden's freeze is not fast enough to shut down the Sylvanas. We're rooting for the underdog here. I mean, this is a sweet comp, so it'd be sick to see a quick 2-0 sweep in the finals. Especially versus something so powerful. I mean, these are, very powerful characters. Even without some of their enablers like Localar and Valera, Frost and Nature are still incredibly strong. Yeah, it is a good point. If it doesn't deal damage, doesn't trigger the shield. So no shield, but yeah, no shield there. Interesting. So it is a little bit of any synergy, but I think you take that to just deny all this damage. And he did get a little bit of value protecting Nuzao. And I think Issies is in a position to win this game now. He still has Kazakis in the back too. So I think as long as he kills this Malfurion, I think he's set. Because the Sylvanas Death Rattle is going to deal 70 to the Brukan. So you don't even have to worry about the Brukan, in my opinion. What a finals, though. Good plays by both players, but Nuzao being the absolute MVP of multiple games so far. Just that damage reduction equipment is huge. It's worth the extra cooldown. Varden could go for the Sylvanas freeze here. There goes the chain lightning. And it just goes right evenly across. Malf gets the heal off. Freeze on Sylvanas. Recalling the Eudora. That does fire the cannons. That's quite a bit of damage. And boom, that kills the... Wow. Oh, but it freezes the Nuzao. Eudora gets to deploy again. What a game. I still think this is in Izzy's favor, though. There is a flip here with Malfurion, but it is going to be in Izzy's favor unless Zampage goes for the 4-speed as well, in which case it'll be a total flip. Oh, and he does. 2 4-speeds. Goes around the Nuzao, though. And 10 damage, I'd imagine, on the Eudora. No, on the Sylvanas. Oh, but that's not going to do it. And that's going to give Izzy's the game. GG 2-0 coming in with the super sweet Summons Nuzao comp. Great games from both players. Very well played and very fun to watch. That was fantastic. And it got there. The unconventional summon comp. It made it. You know, I think we all thought that was going to be an uphill climb, and it certainly wasn't easy, but he found a way how to do it. Yeah, so that does mean RBB is going to be our winner for the giveaway. Well played, everybody. Those were really fun games to watch and commentate. It was just a very enjoyable time all around, and cool seeing the underdog kind of come out against the more powerful, more meta characters. Always love to see that. So I will see if I can message RBB. Yeah, no, the damage reduction, that's what I was talking about. The damage reduction was absolutely an all-star. It was nuts. That equipment was just so good. It enabled winning games that I don't think would have been possible with the other one. Yeah, 10 damage reduction over 2 turns. It's pretty nuts.